basis of this. Issues around management of trade debtors and creditors. Obviously how the aged debtors and creditors roll out, but also how you deal with them and what trade terms you give. The other things they'll look at are how accurate your management accounts are. So the management accounts all add up at the end of the year to the financial accounts, and do the two of them relate, or is there suddenly a gap between the two and there are big adjustments? If there are, then you need to be able to explain that fairly deeply. The second is legal, and within the legal side of the due diligence, there are some basic things such as, are your statutory books written up? Stat books are something that everybody puts to one side, but if they're not accurate, then you can cause yourself a lot of problems in that particular process. It really is well worth keeping them back up to date. We'll talk in a little while about some examples that we've seen of where this particular issue has caused problems. The other legal aspects will be things like your commercial arrangements with your customers. Do you have contracts in place? Are they fully valid? What terms do they operate to, and how does that compare with your financial accounts? What about the terms with your suppliers? And/or any contractors or subcontractors you've got in place? In particular, with the recent changes around IR35, etc., those are very key issues. The other element of legal DD will be about any claims that have been made by or against the company in the past, and how they've completed themselves, or whether there are any existing claims that are outstanding, and an assessment of how they're being dealt with. Within the commercial DD, it typically breaks down into three areas: business, operations, and human resources. And the business element of this particular type is looking at your business plan, whether you have a formal one or an informal one, but they will expect to have some kind of projections, obviously, because that's what you're trying to sell the business on. How accurate are they? How detailed are they? How do they relate to your current performance? Any measure of them in the past against outturns. So if you've got any historic budgets that they can look at and they can compare that, then it gives them a bit degree of credibility as to how accurate they are. The other elements within the business area will be your business processes and how they operate within the framework of your overall business itself. And this falls into the operations. The operations side is looking in detail at how you provide your customer or your client with the services. From start to end, how does it operate? They need to understand that in some detail so that they can take over the business, hopefully in due course, and also make sure that it's being controlled properly. So what business controls do you have within your operations? Human resources is the last of the three of this, and that will be looking at things like your organisation structure, responsibilities for each of the key functions, and actually details of the key people in your business. How long they've been with you, what experience do they have, what expertise do they have, what qualifications do they have. Obviously, it depends on the type of business, but that will be key in what anybody looking at it will look at. The other element of human resources will be looking at your remuneration and your structure around salaries, bonuses, pensions, etc. Does it adhere to the requirements, the legal requirements? And actually, how does it fit with the new buyer? The new buyer's organisation will already have some kind of remuneration structure, and how do the two of them correlate? If they're substantially different, they need to decide how they're going to integrate the two businesses together. So the human resources part of there. The other element is to look at the disciplinary issues within your staffing. Are there any disciplinary issues? How are they being dealt with? We all know that these are difficult, complicated technical areas, but we need to be clear on them. The last thing you want to do is to not disclose these and then an issue come up afterwards. And part of the reason that I say that is that actually from a seller's perspective, you should be looking at trying to take some positive elements out of the DD process. And what that means is to try and disclose certain commercial sensitivities. Your business, as with all businesses, will have some kind of judgments that the management have to make about how the business runs, but also how you account for it and how you show that in your business accounts. Now, if you disclose that and you can get the buyer to understand the mechanics of it and the business valuations around that, then that will mean that they're a better place to understand your business and actually will minimise things called warranties and indemnities. Is anybody here familiar with warranties and indemnities? Yeah? Okay. Well, lawyers will be the people who will lead you on this. But basically, when you come to an eventual sale of the business and you enter into a final sale and purchase agreement, the buyers will want from you certain promises about what they're buying. And those promises can be things like commercial contracts that you're entered into and to ensure that they are valid and reliable. They can also be things like there are no legal actions against you, and these will be part of the warranties and indemnities. And what you want to try and do is to minimise those. So the more you can disclose and be open, then hopefully the less that will end up in the warranties and indemnities. Again, you'll take specific advice from your lawyers around this area, but it's a key part of actually open disclosure.